What's good, Wizards fans? It's your host, the real Ed Oliver. The Washington Wizards lose to the OKC Thunder 136 to 128. Not a lot of defense played at all by either sides. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Just want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more right now. New customers get $150 in bonus bets with any $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. Visit FanDuel.com/locked-on to get started. All right, and our guy, Brandon, he will not be on today. He is at Capital One Arena. He's interviewing Wes Unseld Jr., some of the players. So he's getting us that good insight. He will be on tomorrow night for sure. So we're going to do this one. I'm going to do this one tonight. Solo Dolo. Wizards lose another 136 to 128. Like I said, no defense on both sides of the ball here. Shai Gilgeous, the main reason why the Wizards lost this game is really defense once again. And then, of course, we can talk about Wes Unseld Jr. with his rotation as well. Just not playing Jordan Poole in that fourth quarter when Jordan Poole got hot in that third quarter. So that was certainly questionable right there as far as, just not playing a guy when he's hot. But yeah, defensively, they just couldn't get stops. I mean, Chet Holmgren had 17 in the first half. The Wizards went zone at one point. I don't know why they did that. That didn't work. Shai Gilgeous Alexander got into the paint multiple times. Same thing with Jalen Williams. He got into the paint a bunch of times. And Chet Holmgren was wide open for either dunks or layups, fast break dunks. Shai found Isaiah Joe in the corner for a wide open three. They were knocking down some threes. The Thunder shot 14 for 28 from the three-point line. And the thing is, the Wizards shot the ball well tonight, too. This is one of the Wizards' better offensive nights. And the Wizards, they usually put up a lot of points, but they give up a lot of points, too. That's the thing. But OKC shot 14 for 28 from the three-point line, 50% from the three-point line. They shot 24 free throws. The Wizards actually shot more free throws tonight with 29. But they got out-rebounded 40 to 38, which is not terrible. That's actually pretty good for the Wizards. But they gave up 70 points in the paint. That's what I'm talking about. Shai getting to the basket. Jalen Williams easily getting to the basket. One-on-one, just breaking down their defender, one-on-one isolation basketball. And then Chet getting either an easy dunk or a layup. Excuse me. And the Thunder had 21 fast break points compared to the Wizards 10. The Thunder's largest lead was 13 compared to the Wizards 2. So just not much resistance at all. As Jalen Williams shot 9 for 13 from the 3-point from the field. And Chet shot 11 for 14 from the field, 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. There were some times where Gafford, he just got to step out there. And, he was just staying down there in the paint. And, Chet can shoot. So you got to know your scouting report right there. And that certainly hurt the Wizards. And Shai shot 11 for 17 from the field with 32 points. A pretty easy 32 for him. Aaron Wiggins off the bench, 6 for 8, 13 points. Maryland, he went to Maryland, so, he's a local guy. And then Isaiah Joe hit 4 threes off the bench as well. So just another defensive night where they couldn't guard a parked car. They couldn't guard a parked car. They couldn't guard a stop sign. They were down by 6. It was a close game. They were down by 6, excuse me, with a couple minutes to go, but they just couldn't get a stop. They missed a layup on the other end, and then after that, that was basically all she wrote for that one. They just couldn't get back. So, yeah, they offensively, it was a better night for Jordan Poole for sure. And then Kyle Kuzma bounced back rebounding because there was a game where Kyle Kuzma only had 2 boards. But he ended up with 15 boards tonight, which was a better effort by Kyle Kuzma rebounding the basketball. Gafford ended up with 9 points and 9 boards, almost hit the double-double. And Tyus Jones with 18 points and 9 assists. He almost ended up with a double-double. Jordan Poole with a better shooting night, 24 points, 4 for 8 from the three-point line. And Corey Kispert hit 3 threes. So it certainly was a track meet. The Wizards just could not get stops at all. And not many adjustments on the defensive side of the ball, but just playing zone, that didn't help either. and the Wizards ended up losing 136 to 128 there. So there were some good signs that we saw. I thought, Bilal had a couple moments, 5 points, 25 minutes. Didn't score much tonight, but 5 points, 5 boards. Did hit 1 3. And Shamet was effective. I thought he played well tonight. I thought Shamet played pretty well, 15 points, 2 boards. I thought he got to the rim a couple times, hit 1 3. And let me see how many free throws did he shoot tonight. Yeah, 9 free throws. Landry Shamet got to the free throw line pretty frequently. So I do think he's a guy. We're hearing a lot of trade rumors and a lot of reports. I do think that he's a guy that is going to be traded, of course. And I don't see, of course, we're not going to get a first-round pick for Shamet, but I do think we can get some value, like a second-round pick or something like that, which is not awful. It's something in return. Basically, like we've gotten the whole time the Will Dawkins has been here, a bunch of second-round picks. You're probably going to add another second-round pick and Landry Shamet. But Landry Shamet, when he's been healthy, he's been productive. He's been productive. And then you look at Johnny Davis, he collected another DNP for the Washington Wizards tonight. So, it's just another formula, another day, another loss for the Washington Wizards. And it's just another way of the script. But this one, they were competitive. They did stay close, and they did go on a couple runs here and there. So, but yeah, we're going to take a quick break here, a quick word from BetterHelp, and then we're probably going to get to some comments here earlier than usual because we haven't been able to really get into a lot of comments in the last couple of episodes. So we're probably going to get some comments a little earlier than usual. But today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Around New Year's, we get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of just expanding on what we're already doing right. Maybe you finally organize one part of your space and you want to tackle another, or maybe you're taking your supplements every morning, and now you want to actually eat breakfast too. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Starting New Year's is definitely a good time to get into therapy and focus on other things. If you want to focus on, just getting in touch with your family, getting a better relationship with friends and family, it's definitely good to start that off with your New Year's resolution. And a good way to start therapy and just get a better space for yourself, a better mental space, is with BetterHelp. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA. Also, make sure you guys check out the Locked On Sports Today channel. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On Plus. Our national shows covering every league. And Locked On Sports Today on YouTube, and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. All right, guys. My voice is a little raspy. I kind of sound like BB King a little bit, Louis Armstrong, but so that's why I'm a little under the weather right now. So just bear with me here. So I'm gonna read about 2 or 3 comments, and then we're gonna get into a word from FanDuel, and then we're gonna read about 3 more comments, and then wrap it up for tonight. All right. So DMV for life. He said the Wizards have allowed 130 or more points 16 out of 36 games this year. This defense is the worst I've ever seen this zone West. Excuse me for a second. I got to take a quick drink of water. This defense, the Wizards are one of the worst defenses in the league, if not the worst in the league, for sure. They're one of the worst rebounding teams. They just and the thing is, Kuz said it in the press conference after the Knicks game, and it was something like he said that they just don't have the personnel. He said the Knicks have the personnel, but the Wizards don't. And, I know a lot of people don't like that answer, but it is true. And himself included, he hasn't defended great really this year either. So just the team effort, the personnel. When you have Gafford as your only starting center, and then your backup is Mike Muscala and Gallinari, you have no paint resistance, no paint protection at all. And then Tyus Jones, he tries on defense, but he's just not quick enough, not big enough to resist, have any defensive resistance against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, some of the better point guards in the league. And Jordan Poole, he can be a turnstile on defense. He can play matador defense for sure, and let guys just go right past him and just overpower him and overmatch him for sure. So from a guard standpoint, other than really Denny and DeLon, other than that, and maybe Johnny Davis, but he doesn't even get playing time. We don't have any defensive-minded guys or any guys that can get stops, like, at all. And we just, we can't even rebound the ball. We just don't have the personnel. A lot of it is on West too, but the way that they constructed the roster this year, the front office, they just wanted to get a top 5 pick. And we're not top 5 pick. They want to get the top pick. And the Wizards are certainly trending that way. It's really just between them and the Pistons. But yes, the defense is atrocious. Kuz said it. But the funny thing is that Denny said that when Julius Randle put up 39 points, he said that Julius Randle isn't that tough to guard. And it's kind of like, how can you really say that when Julius Randle just dropped 39 points, probably one of the easiest 39 points I've ever seen on the road in D.C. So it's hard for Denny to really say that. It is very questionable for Denny to say that after that. Usually you say that when you hold somebody to 10 points or something like that. But that's something you don't say when you allow Julius Randle to drop 39 points and win, So, but yes, the defense has been atrocious. It's been a collective effort of terrible defense all the way around. And Bilal tries, they put him on SGA, they put him on Shai, but Shai is just, he's an elite player, man. He's an all-star, possibly MVP candidate. What are the Thunder? The Thunder, what's their record right now? They're 20, 24 and 11. So yeah, he should be an MVP candidate. He gets to the basket at will. Jalen Williams, same thing. He gets to the basket at will. They just make it look easy. And the Wizards make it look easy for other teams too to get to the basket. So yes, the defense is bad. It's really darn bad. I was gonna look up and see what they're ranked defensively here. What are the Wizards ranked defensively? Points allowed, they're 15. Actually, no, I'm sorry. They're 30th. I think, they're 30th in points allowed. So, yes, they are, excuse me, the worst. They are the worst defensive team in the NBA right now. And they're ranked 30th in rebounds as well. So, their defense and rebounding is very, very lackluster for sure. All right, the truth says defense was trash. Gafford allowing layup lines, but this loss is on West. They can pull out until 3 minutes to go after scoring 15 is bringing it. He's got to go. Yeah, and this is one of Jordan Poole's best games of the season. Like, Jordan Poole was going through a slump, man. Like, 5 points, one game. It was not looking good for Jordan Poole. Like, he just looked out of sync. Kind of looked like everybody looked checked out. The Cavs games getting blown out, looking checked out. The Knicks game looking checked out. This game, Jordan Poole, and it's not just him. Some nights the whole team they just look checked out. And this is one of Jordan Poole's better games. He had a step back 3. He did shoot a pull up 3 on a fast break, which he does this at least once a game, which is an ill-advised shot. But we know how today's NBA game is. But he shot the ball well tonight. This is one of his better nights. Shooting the ball 8 for 17, 4 for 8 from the 3, 4 for 5 from the free throw line. I like that he got to the basket a couple times. I like that when he's getting downhill. 24 points was a +3 in the plus-minus box. And there's a stat showing that he has like the worst plus-minus in like almost the history of the NBA. But West, excuse me, with his rotations, it's definitely questionable. I don't know why he didn't put Jordan Poole early in the game, but I get Shamet was playing well, so that might have been the reason why. But you got to find a way to get your best players going, especially when they're hot and when they're cooking. You gotta let your best players cook for sure. All right, 757 finals. Yeah, this is something we talk about all the time. He says the 10th pick of the 2022 draft had a DNP. The 12th pick of the draft had 21, 10, and 7 on 9 to 12 shooting. Tommy picked a bust on purpose. Not many consider Johnny a lottery talent that year. I don't know. I don't see a GM picking a bust on purpose because, you're going to get fired, and that's what happened with Wes. Johnny Davis, I just came to the conclusion it's not going to work out here. It looks like Will Dawkins in the front office. Dave came to the same conclusion. It's just not going to work out here. they don't try to give him playing time. They don't really look invested in giving him playing time, and that's their right. I rather see him get some minutes, especially on a team that's 6-39 or 6-35. I think he should at least get some minutes, but maybe after the trade deadline he'll get some minutes. But for this regime, they are not invested in developing him. And if they think the young man can't play here, and then that's just their plan, and they're looking to develop Bilal. So. But Johnny, yeah, I mean, some of the concerns that came up before he got drafted in the draft process is just, explosiveness, counter moves. Can he shoot a three? Can he create a shot for himself other than just the mid-range game that he shot a lot at Wisconsin? So a lot of those concerns have certainly come up. You see, even in the summer league this summer league, he was better, but when he first came in that summer league, you just saw how much he struggled. He just couldn't get open, no counter moves. Couldn't get to the basket, didn't play with confidence. So those are a lot of things that were concerning, and you still see it. Like the shot. I mean, I can go on a tangent about Johnny Davis, just his shot, the way they've kind of butchered his shot. And some of that's on the Wizards staff is messing with his shot. But yeah, it's just the confidence, the Magic game where he shot that mid-range shot and it went over the rim. And you look at the Magic bench and they were just kind of joking him and laughing at him. So, yeah, it's a lot of factors with Johnny. But, if he's here past the trade deadline, I would like to see him get some minutes. But like I said, I think the new regime there, the new front office, they're just like, hey, he's the wrong pick. And they're just going to cut ties and probably move on. Sometimes you do have to realize that something was a mistake. And I hate to give up on somebody so early. But that's kind of what it looks like what they're doing. They're like, hey, Tommy Shepard made a mistake. And we're just going to move on from the young man in the future. So, all right, but we're going to get to a quick word from FanDuel here. And then we're going to read about 2 more comments and then wrap it up for tonight. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL regular season is wrapping up, or it has wrapped up almost. The pool season is here, but there's still time to get in on the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Live same-game parlays, find bets in the new Explore tab. Make a parlay in the Parlay Hub, the best way to find popular parlays and more. So visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to make your first bet a layup. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. All right, we're going to read one more comment with my voice, and then whatever comments are left off, I'm definitely going to definitely going to go. Definitely going to read some of the comments tomorrow with my guy Brandon when he comes back, and he's going to talk about some of the interviews that he got to talk. Some of the interviews, some of the answers that he got from Wes Unseld Jr. that he got to talk to a couple of players and a couple of the guys at the game for sure. All right, Shakespeare. Yes, I was very happy that Ron Rivera got fired. We'll definitely talk about that again. On my show, for my channel about that. Excuse me. All right. Let's see here. There's a couple funny comments we're gonna get to for sure tomorrow, but let's see here. Shea and Chet combined 70%. Let's see here. Bullets Nation says Kuz was decent, but 24 shots is way too much. 0 for 5 from the 3 didn't help either. We won't get a first if he's shooting 30% from the field each game. Yeah, I mean, that's a part of the process. Like, and Kuz may not be here much longer. There's teams that are definitely interested in trading for him. And the Wizards reportedly want multiple first-round picks, which I don't think they're going to get for him. But, yeah, the shot selection has been a concern for Kuz. And, he's the best player on the team, so he's going to take the most shots. It's just really just the shot selection for him. And I thought he did a good job rebounding the ball. I was happy with that because he didn't rebound the ball well the other game, but I thought he improved with that. 15 rebounds, 5 assists. So that's just what you're going to get for Kuz on a nightly basis. You're going to get a lot of shot volume from him for sure. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up tonight. I just want to thank you guys for listening and making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you guys get podcasts. Make sure you guys check out the Locked On Sports Network. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Go to Locked On Sports Today on YouTube and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. Hell to the Wizards. Peace.